Well, what do you do when you've been running all day and yesterday and today? Oh, I see movement right there. You go fishing in your pond when you want to go fishing. Yeah.
All right, so when we moved here, this pond was stocked with, was already had fish in it. Had, you know, hybrid sunfish and bluegills, and I think some bullheads. Yeah, I had bullheads because I caught one. And you know, as I catch bass other places, sometimes I'll bring, if they're keepers, I'll bring them home and I'll put them in here if they're, well, largemouth, not smallmouth or spotted bass, but largemouth I'll end up putting in here. So we got a few largemouth in here, but and I've caught a few fish in a topwater, and I just tried fishing in a topwater, but there's so many leaves falling that they're getting, my lures are picking up the leaves and it's not working right. So we're just going to try to catch a few bluegills, and this stuff right here, if you don't have live night crawlers or crickets or whatever, and you want to catch some fish, you know, like just want to catch some bluegill, these Gulp Alive little wax worms, well, I bought them in white, but they come in this, they got this liquid inside of them too. The Gulp Alive comes with, they're like these little, they look like this. So that they come on like on a, they come all strung together. Can you see that? And you just pull them apart like this, and I usually put 2 of them on a hook. And this is like a one.
Hold your hand out with it, because
this is what they look like.
There you go.
So what I do, this is a tiny jig head. This is like a 1/64 jig head with a number, I think it's a number 10 hook. This is the only place I ever fish for bluegills, but since we have them in here, or hybrid sunfish, I like catching them. I like to fish artificial, so I bought these just for this. What I'll do is I'll thread 2 of them on like this, and that's a tiny 1/64 ounce jig. I usually tie, if you look at it real close, I have a loop knot, so it lets the jig work more freely. Just for added casting distance, I put a very small split shot on the line, about a foot up, and then I have a slip float, and I have the bobber stop a little bit above that, so it ain't gonna, it's only fishing, you know, 2 foot deep.
Yeah.
I mean, this pond's only probably in the deepest spot's probably 8 foot deep. So we'll just see. I'll probably catch one first cast. We'll see what happens. These wax worms work really good. There he goes. One right off the bat. Okay, so that's about catfish bait size.
Hold it there. It's pretty.
First cast.
Yep, that's a little one.
A better one.
Yeah, a little bit bigger. It's hard to film a moving fish. Good job, boss.
Oh yeah, they just never kept one out of here. But on a very, someday might have to.
Yeah. They're good eating.
Yeah, they're real good eating. But I don't keep them right now.
All right, let's see.
There's a fish already.
Right there, bam.
Another bait size. I've caught
Yeah.
some that are about as big as my hand in here. And there's some green sunfish in here that are pretty big.
Well, you didn't get skunked.
Oh, I'm not going to get skunked.
Not in our pond.
Not on the pond.
So let's see if we can get a bass eventually.
Well,
I want to see the bass. I haven't seen them yet. Kevin has though.
well, caught a few of them
Yeah.
here, but ones that I'd already previously caught. And then I caught a really small one, so it made me think that,
Bam.
oh, missed him. What's great about this little hook too is, like, if you get it caught in the weeds, it's not a big hook. You can get it out. Like, it just.
Lily,
Sure.
are you helping? Are you helping Daddy fish? You're such a good girl. Pretty girl. Got another one, huh? Brutus was on the other side of the pond, seeing if he could push the fish this way. We call a road we take all the time a cow trail or a cow path. And it's true, cows really do make a path and a trail. That's so cool.
Well, I had one fish kind of go after the top water, but it doesn't look like it's mounting much. So one thing I've never done on this pond, and I don't fish it that often. I usually fish other places, and every once in a while I'll come out here and fish for bluegill. Here and there I'll fish for bass in here, the bass that I've put in here, but I've never fished just like a regular plastic worm in here. I always fish with like a top water or
Are you
baits
gonna?
baits that I don't use all the time. So I'm gonna go get another rod with a plastic worm on it. It's right in the shop there, and I'll cast that around a little bit and see if that produces any bass. There's not that many bass in the pond. All the bass
That we know of.
that we
I
know
mean,
of.
we think they spawn though.
Yeah, because I did catch one a while back when I was or probably 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. Came out here one Sunday morning and I caught a little bass probably 8 inches long. Well, the only bass that I've put in here are keeper bass that I've caught other places.
Which
I probably
are,
put like 12 to 15, 12
right.
inches.
So we know.
So that fish did not come, it wasn't one that I caught previously.
And they weren't in there.
Right. And I've also caught a couple of bigger bass that were like 2 to 3 pounders
Yeah.
that I had caught other places and brought them here.
Yeah, but
So-
they weren't 8 inches.
Yeah. Those fish were like 2, 3 pounders.
Yeah.
So there's a few of them in here, the ones that I caught,
Mm-hmm.
that I know of, but I don't know how many bass are really in this pond. So
Right.
I haven't fished with a plastic worm, and that's usually
Brutus
usually
just
my
hit
go-to
chair.
lure on other water, on rivers and on like Stockton Lake. So I'll go get a plastic worm and we'll see what happens.
Okay. Here's what we have to deal with. Oh, they're gonna stop now.
Hopefully you didn't get that on there.
Mama and son. Always sparring between each other. I don't know what Brutus is eating. He eats anything. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Okay, finally got something. What's that called, Bob?
It's some sort of hybrid sunfish, but I think it's a green sunfish. I kept getting a bite on the plastic worm. I was like, man, maybe it's a small bass. Well,
It's got a big mouth.
see how big the mouth is?
Yeah.
I caught one day a while back that was as big as my hand and had a mouth. It looked like a largemouth bass, but it wasn't. And still seeing if any of these largemouth in here will bite this.
It's got a
So,
spiky back, huh?
yeah. He's going back in the drink.
All right. Well, carry on. What'd you say?
I said evidence of a successful spawn, because I haven't put any fish in here in a couple years. I just caught this little largemouth. He's probably
Yes.
8 or 9 inches. Like I said, I've only put keepers in here. I don't take non-keepers from public waters.
Yes.
I don't break the law. So
Yay.
this is a fish that either I'm sure came from some of the fish that I caught, or maybe there were some bass in here that
No.
I didn't think there was any
They
bass.
told us no.
So
Awesome.
successful spawn.
Woohoo!
And all that. Caught it on the
All right.